John Carter was known in his circle as the CEO of Evergreen Bank, a financial institution that prided itself on its community values and customer service. He was a man of simple tastes, often preferring jeans and a well-worn flannel shirt to the tailored suits his peers donned. He liked to blend in, to experience life outside the executive bubble. On this particular Tuesday morning, he decided to stop by his bank for some personal banking. As he walked into the lobby, he took a moment to appreciate the bright, spacious environment. The decor was modern but welcoming, and the employees were hard at work helping customers. John smiled to himself, pleased with the atmosphere they had cultivated. As he approached the teller, he was met with a cool glance from Marissa, the bank manager. Marissa was in her mid-30s, sharp and ambitious. She had climbed the ranks quickly and was known for her meticulous attention to detail. Unfortunately, this also meant that she had developed a reputation for being somewhat condescending towards customers who did not fit her idea of successful. "What can I do for you today?" she asked, her tone crisp, eyes scanning his casual attire. John hesitated for a moment, taken aback by her tone. "I need to make a deposit," he said, pulling out a few checks from his pocket. "Do you have an account here?" she inquired, raising an eyebrow as if questioning his presence in the establishment. "Yes, I do," John replied, a hint of annoyance creeping into his voice. "I've been a customer for years." Marissa leaned back in her chair, arms crossed. "Well, can you show me some ID? I don't think I've seen you around here before. Are you sure this is the right bank?" The humiliation stung. John felt a flush rise to his cheeks, not from embarrassment, but from indignation. "I assure you, I'm at the right bank. I'm the CEO," he stated, hoping the revelation would change her attitude. Her laughter rang out, sharp and mocking. "Right, and I'm the Queen of England. Look, if you're going to play games, you'll have to find someone else to entertain you. I have real customers to attend to." Feeling the anger rise within him, John clenched his fist but took a deep breath. He refused to let her rudeness ruin his day or diminish his worth. Instead, he took a step back and decided to give her a lesson in humility, but first he needed to cool down. "Marissa," he said, his voice steady but firm, "I think you need to reconsider how you treat customers. Your assumptions about people based on their appearance are not just unprofessional. They're damaging." Marissa rolled her eyes, dismissive. "Look, if you don't have a proper account, maybe you should find another bank." John leaned forward, the gravity of his words sinking in. "I am the bank, Marissa. I own this establishment, and you just lost your chance to impress someone who truly values respect." Her face paled as realization dawned on her. She fumbled for words, her confidence evaporating. I didn't know." "I understand that you may have had a rough day, but that is no excuse for treating anyone with disrespect. Whether someone is a CEO, a janitor, or anyone in between, they deserve the same level of dignity." "I'm so sorry," she stammered, her bravado completely gone. "I didn't mean to." "You did, and that's the problem," John interrupted. "You need to understand that every interaction is a reflection of who you are. Treat everyone with respect, and you'll find that it reflects back on you." With that, he turned on his heel and walked towards the exit, leaving Marissa behind, her cheeks burning with embarrassment and regret. Over the next few weeks, John couldn't shake the encounter from his mind. It was a reminder of the deep-seated biases that could exist even in a well-meaning institution. He wanted to ensure that such behavior wouldn't happen again. He decided to implement a customer respect initiative, a program aimed at training employees on how to treat all customers with dignity. He scheduled meetings with Marissa and the rest of the staff to discuss the initiative and to share his own experience as a way to emphasize the importance of respect. Marissa showed up to the meeting visibly nervous, her demeanor much different from their last encounter. She had spent countless hours reflecting on her behavior and had even taken time to speak to employees at all levels about their experiences with customers. "Thank you all for coming," John began, looking around the room. "Today, I want to talk about respect. Each of you plays a critical role in this bank, and each of you represents our values to our customers. I want you to know that I believe in your abilities, but we need to do better." He turned to Marissa, who was seated in the front. "Marissa, I appreciate you taking the time to reflect on your actions. Would you like to share your thoughts?" Marissa stood, her voice shaky but resolute. "I made a terrible mistake, and I've come to realize that my assumptions can cloud my judgment. Everyone deserves respect, no matter how they look or present themselves. I'm committed to changing my approach and ensuring that no one feels the way I made John feel that day." The room was silent for a moment, absorbing the gravity of her admission. Then, slowly, heads began to nod in agreement. John smiled, feeling a sense of hope for his team and the culture they could create together. As the weeks rolled on, the Customer Respect Initiative transformed the atmosphere at Evergreen Bank. Employees were encouraged to share stories of positive customer interactions, emphasizing empathy and understanding. They held workshops to train on recognizing biases and understanding the diverse backgrounds of their clientele. Marissa, now fully engaged in the process, took the lead in organizing these workshops. She had become a role model, guiding her team with newfound humility and a focus on respect. She even created a Customer Appreciation Day, where employees were encouraged to share positive experiences with customers in person and on social media. The initiative not only improved customer service, but also boosted employee morale. The staff became more united, fostering a culture of support and collaboration. John watched proudly as the transformation unfolded, knowing that the seeds he had sown were beginning to flourish. One day, while John was in his office reviewing the results of the initiative, he received an email from a longtime customer named Mrs. Roberts. She had been a customer of Evergreen Bank for over 20 years and had recently experienced an issue with her account. She expressed her gratitude for the improved customer service, noting how she felt valued and heard during her last visit. John felt a swell of pride. He immediately forwarded the email to Marissa and the rest of the team, encouraging them to celebrate their progress. "See what happens when we treat people with respect," he wrote. "You are making a difference every day. Keep it up." Months later, as the Customer Respect Initiative continued to flourish, a stormy day struck the town. Heavy rain fell, and the streets quickly flooded. John received an urgent call from Marissa about a customer who was stranded at the bank, unable to get home. "John, I think we need to help," she said, her voice filled with concern. "We have customers who can't leave. We need to make sure they're safe." Without hesitation, John agreed. He knew this was an opportunity to demonstrate the values they had instilled in the team. They quickly organized sandwiches, hot coffee, and blankets for the customers stranded at the bank. As the hours passed, they turned what could have been a miserable wait into a warm gathering. People shared stories, laughter, and even a few jokes. John moved from group to group, checking in on everyone, ensuring they felt cared for. Marissa did the same, her previous demeanor replaced with genuine warmth. As the rain finally eased, the customers began to leave, gratitude evident on their faces. One elderly gentleman approached John as he was about to step out. "Thank you for your kindness today," he said, his voice shaky. "You've turned what could have been a terrible experience into something I'll remember fondly." John smiled, feeling the warmth of his heart swell. "It's our pleasure, sir. Thank you for being part of our community." As the day came to a close, John reflected on how far they had come since that initial encounter with Marissa. He felt a sense of fulfillment in knowing that their commitment to respect and dignity had transformed not just the bank, but the lives of everyone they served. Several months later, John was invited to speak at a community event highlighting local businesses. He agreed, eager to share the lessons learned from the Customer Respect Initiative. The auditorium was filled with local business owners and community leaders, all eager to hear his message. As John took the stage, he could see Marissa sitting in the front row, her eyes sparkling with pride. He began his speech, speaking passionately about the importance of treating everyone with dignity. "I once faced an uncomfortable situation as a customer, where I was unfairly judged based on my appearance. But that experience sparked a change, not just within me, but within my organization. We have a responsibility to ensure that every person who walks through our doors feels valued, regardless of their status or background. The audience listened intently, nodding along. John shared stories of how the bank had evolved and how their new initiatives were making a real difference in the community. After his speech, a long line of attendees approached him to share their own stories and discuss how they could implement similar initiatives in their businesses. John felt energized by the conversations and the sense of camaraderie that filled the room. As the event wrapped up, Marissa approached him, her eyes shining. "You did amazing, John. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished together." "Thank you, Marissa. You've been a driving force in this change." "It's people like you who inspire others," he replied. Their conversation shifted to future plans, ideas, and how they could continue to spread the message of respect beyond the walls of Evergreen Bank. As the years passed, Evergreen Bank became known not just for its financial services, but for its unwavering commitment to respect and dignity. Customers would often share stories of their positive experiences, and the bank received numerous accolades for its community service and customer care. John and Marissa continued to work closely, championing the importance of empathy and understanding in all interactions. They organized community outreach programs, mentoring local youths on financial literacy and life skills. They believed that investing in the community meant investing in the future. One day, as they sat in John's office reviewing plans for a new initiative, John paused, looking out at the bustling bank below. "You know, it all started with that one moment. I didn't expect it to lead to such profound change." Marissa nodded, her smile reflecting her understanding. "It's incredible what a little respect can do. We've created a legacy, John, one that I hope will inspire others long after we're gone." "Indeed," John agreed, a sense of satisfaction washing over him. "The lesson of dignity is timeless, and it's one that we will continue to champion." As they forged ahead, they remained committed to their mission, knowing that respect, equality, and dignity would always be the foundation of Evergreen Bank, a legacy that would resonate within the community for generations to come. Years later, as John prepared for retirement, he looked back at the transformation that had taken place at Evergreen Bank. He felt a sense of pride knowing that they had built something meaningful, something that would continue to make a difference in the lives of others. At his retirement party, Marissa stood up to speak. "John, you've not only been a mentor to me, but you've taught us all the value of treating others with dignity. You've set the bar high, and I promise to carry on this legacy." The audience erupted in applause, and John felt a rush of gratitude. He had not just created a successful bank. He had fostered a culture that honored respect and equality. As he reflected on his journey, he knew that the lesson learned from that fateful day had sparked a movement that would continue to shine brightly, illuminating the path of respect for generations to come. And in that realization, he found a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that every interaction, every relationship, and every moment spent promoting dignity would ripple outward, creating waves of positive change in the world.